Hey everybody, JamieStarr here for the New World News Network. Tonight we're going to check out some clips from one of my favorite commentators, Tucker Carlson, although I've heard some critics say that a problem with Tucker is there's a lot of low-hanging fruit being brought his way, and I have to agree, but he's able to bring in certain people and just sort of, I mean, he doesn't even have to do anything, and this is the part of the reason why I want to show these clips is because last night, I believe, in the video I did of the mulatto people, if they pass for white or not, there was a point where I just said, what are you saying? What are you talking about? And I find myself doing this with liberal politics all the time. And it really makes me wonder how much is like just this sort of appeal to ego. Like there's nothing even there, but you can just have big words. And like I was talking to a guy online the other day who first, tried to call me an idiot because I believe companies make things to be outdated and break, so you have to buy a new one. Fairly obvious thing called planned obsolescence that has been reported on over and over, but I'm a kook because I think companies want to make as much money as they can, and legally, some of them, it's illegal if they don't. But then this guy goes on this tirade of being like, I don't mean to be mean, but when people don't come to me and I only deal with evidence and logic and facts and reason and this, just using all these buzzwords to, it's like, remember the Simpsons video game at the end of the first level where you're blowing up the balloon? That's what they do, and they're just like, reason, evidence, logic, facts, and then they end it with, or if I didn't do this, I would be just like those that I think should perish when we all die from climate change. And it's like, okay, buddy, you just obviously threw out all your facts and reason and evidence and everything when you said climate change. Like, you could have just jerked yourself off, but then you had to add a little bit that debunks it all. And frankly, I don't even care to argue with these people anymore. I'm just going to say my bit, and if they respond, whatever. I don't even check the shit anymore. That's how anti-Facebook I am. I'll just pop up and be like, you're wrong. This is the truth. Oh, you have some fuck off. Sorry. So, anyway, wanted to see this video because this is just, I mean, the things coming out. I'm going to write a book for leftists, and I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to try to sell it, and it's going to be called, like, How to Shut Down White People. I have a real book I want to start writing. I want to try to get Gavin McInnes's blessing before I write the book, and considering 6 degrees of separation, I'm like a degree away from him. I have friends who are friends with him, so I probably could. I want to write a book. He put out this concept of there being a supply and demand of racist, sexist, homophobics, that there's this demand for evil monsters and enemies, and the media has to keep providing them, and it's how the left stays united. So I wanted to write a book expanding on that and really delving into it, but since it's Gavin's concept, I want his permission before I fully go with it. But I would write this other book satirically as just a way to, sort of like the regressive agenda, like how atheism is unstoppable, just laid it all out, how Ben Shapiro did his, ways to refute leftists. I'm going to just make one where it's like, the tactics of what they, just mention history. Just use history to elicit guilt, and they will fold to whatever. And I'm going to put it out there like this real cutthroat manual and see how they all respond to it. Because I guarantee you they'll pick it up like it's their fucking Bible. And then I'm going to laugh at them. Because I'm going to be like, yeah, that's how predictable you are. We know your tactics. Anyway, so let's get into this.
Yates for refusing to defend his immigration order. For replacement, Dana Buente says he will. Meanwhile, the American left remains in meltdown mode with lawsuits appearing all over the country. Jose Antonio Vargas is a journalist and the founder of Define America, a pro-illegal immigrant organization. He himself is also an illegal immigrant, brought over from the Philippines at the age of 12. He's a critic, to put it mildly, of Trump's immigration orders, and he joins us now from Mountain View in California. Jose, it's great to see you tonight. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Actually, I'm in Mountain View, which is where I grew up. This is where I came from the Philippines when I was 12.
In Mountain View, yeah. Mountain View, very nice town. Good for you.
Yep.
Good choice of towns. So you came over, you said, at 12, and I was thinking about that. I've talked to you many times about this kind of thing. But I thought, what would happen if I showed up in the Philippines as a non-citizen there illegally and started saying, hey, Philippines, I hate your immigration policy. And by the way, I think you're racist for not liking me. And I think maybe I'll file some lawsuits or support other people filing lawsuits against you and, just sort of be quiet and accept my illegal presence. How would they respond to me, do you think?
Well, first of all, I was 12, so I'm not quite sure I would be asking.
He obviously doesn't understand the question. These people go on Tucker, and I don't even know why they do. Because all they're going to do is say, you don't have facts. This is Fox. Fox doesn't like facts. And then evade. I showed it with Shamu last night. Now this guy. Tucker is trying to make a point. What if someone went to your country and acted like how people are acting in America? And immediately he goes, well, I was 12, so I. And he doesn't get the big picture, basically. And this is all, again, like I said in the video last night, this is the whole, if Hitler just knew a Jew, if he just had a conversation with a Jew, he wouldn't have wanted to have the Holocaust. If you just talk to a gay person, you'll be for gay marriage. If you just have a conversation.
Those questions, the decision was made for me. And I think what's really interesting here, too, is, as you probably know, the relationship between the Philippines and the United States, right?
I'm sorry, I don't even, it's just become so apparent, and I've known this, how liberal politics parades around like it's, I'm here to help the illegals, I'm here to help this, but it's always me, I feel, I think, me. It's so obnoxious.
Right? The Philippines was a protectorate of the United States, like Puerto Rico, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why there's more than 4 million Filipinos in the United States. We're the second largest Asian American group in this country because there's a connection between the two countries.
For
right?
Sure.
So I think it's an interesting relationship, and I think.
It is.
Notice he didn't even attempt to answer the question, though. He's just saying, well, the Philippines, there's a history in the Philippines, and they're connected,
And a very old one, and a very noble one, also.
And
I would say.
I have to say, by the way, as someone
but
who's
you're not
been on
answering
Fox
my
News
question.
No, my answer to your question is, as a 12-year-old, I'm not quite sure I would ask those questions. I was not. It was not on my own volition to come here. I was sent
Of course
here,
it wasn't.
right?
But you're not 12 now, and you're making the case in effect that the U.S. doesn't have a right to say to people who are here illegally.
Now, catch this, because this Tucker tries to get him on, and he doesn't understand the disconnect, where he will say in one breath, countries have a right to borders, they have a right to decide who comes and goes, this, and that. And then everything else he says defies that. I mean, what Tucker should have asked is then, if you're against, if you're for countries having borders, for them saying who comes and goes, how do they do that? Because you're throwing a fit when they try.
Right. Wait a second. No. The country has a right to define and defend its borders. Absolutely. Any modern country has a right to do that. But at the same time, we have a right to ask harder questions of ourselves about why are people even coming here? Tucker, do you think?
What is it? This is the other thing that bothers me about And this is also why, like I said in the other video, you know, they're always like, you gotta hire a psychologist or a sociologist to tell you, because they're the only ones that know how the world operates, because you gotta understand the reasons. Yeah, black people commit more crime, but the reasons. Yeah, there's illegal immigrants, but the reasons. And then, you know, the reason was always the same thing. White people did something. Someone white did something, so now this is your penance. And that's all it ever boils down to. It's very simple.
I came to this country so you can beat me up and call me illegal and criminal on national television? Do you think that's what I want? Don't you think if I could fix... Well, I mean, I'm just saying, when you call me illegal,
You're a gentle soul,
when you call people criminals, no, I mean, look,
here's the other funny thing about all of this. He says, and you can tell he's saying, don't you think I would wish what? That you were a legal citizen? That you were that? No, because then there goes your job and your selling point and your notoriety and everything that's special about you and what you've made of yourself revolves around the illegality of your immigration. No, you don't wish it was otherwise. No, your whole fucking thing is trying to undo what the like. Lack of self-awareness with this one is ridiculous.
Matter here. Words matter here. And,
yeah,
you know,
that's the other crazy leftist idea. Words matter. If no one says faggot, we'll have no more homophobia. That's it. If no one ever says nigger again, they'll look at black people like they're kings.
Look, how do you legalize people you call illegal? You don't. You call them illegal. End of conversation. Right?
First off, look at Tucker's face, because what this guy just did is he's going to continue with this, or maybe the other guy does. They sort of conflate terminology with legalities. And like, I mean, it's not that the person themselves are illegal. And here's the other thing. Here's the other thing about this argument. This is very similar to the, oh, well, if people are in love, you know, they're born this way, you can't object to it. How do you then not have this same rebuttal for pedophiles? If a pedophile comes out and says, this is who I am, I love children, why have you made who I am illegal? What are you going to say to them? Because you've been arguing this point for everyone else. I mean, that's what really bothers me about leftist politics, is you can take their arguments and just move it to an absurd point, and it still fits perfectly, and it's still in the minds of them would rationalize it the exact same way. There's nothing you can throw up and say, oh, well, you know, a person, they just came here, and now because they came here without permission, they're illegal, and because we call them illegal, you know, that's like they're a criminal, and they're not even a real person. Then, well, you call pedophiles, and being a pedophile is illegal, so we've made people illegal because of their preference, and this is wrong. And I mean, it's you can tell pedophilia is on the cusp with all of this stuff, because why wouldn't it be?
Well, it's not the end of the conversation. And by the way, I mean, look, you're arguing something that contradicts itself. You're saying a country has a right to have laws about who can be here and who cannot, and you're simultaneously arguing that people here illegally should not be referred to as being here illegally or illegal. Because and I don't really understand what you are.
Wait a second. Being here illegally, being here without documentation and authorization is a civil offense and not a criminal.
Okay, whatever. It's still against the law. I mean, what's your point?
Wait a second, Tucker. Almost half of the people who are here illegally actually came legally and overstayed their visa.
Irrelevant point. And that's the other thing leftists do, where they just they have a bag full of irrelevant points, where it's like Muslim terror attacks, black on black violence, white guys shoot up schools, and they'll show you these 12 people that have done it in the past 30 years. I mean, they'll go to Columbine Like, and that's how you know you got a shitty argument. I'm going to be 31 this year. When you have to point to things that were happening as when I was in middle school, to try to rationalize what's going on now, or say, this isn't bad because something that happened way back then. Like, no, you look stupid. I wish the left would just get their shit together. I don't understand it. It's like whoever's running it only wants mindless, vapid morons. I mean, it's the reason why, higher education and leftism are merged hand in hand, because you have to be able to parrot things. You can't question it or think critically about it. You just got to spew it back out at everyone. Bullshit in, bullshit out. That's all it is.
Across the Mexican border. And I have to say, to me, the hardest
question... You seem like non-sequiturs.
Okay. No, these are facts, Tucker. The problem is you don't actually operate in facts. You don't.
I'm actually not contesting. I'm not. Oh, hold on. No, but let me just say, no name calling here.
Now, who looks like a dick here? This guy's getting all huffy and puffy. They're facts, and Tucker even says, "Yeah, I'm not contesting them. They just have nothing to do with what I'm talking about."
I'm not contesting those as facts.
I'm not calling you names. What did I just call you? I'm a journalist. I operate in facts. You're a pundit.
Got that.
There's a difference between the two.
Yeah, I can tell. So, but here's my question to you. What does that have to do with anything? You're not answering my question, which is, if a country has a right to... Hold on. If a country has a right to determine who is here and under what circumstances, what are you arguing about? If you're agreeing that a country has a right to determine who has a right to be here, then what's the argument? If you're here illegally, we have a right to tell you to leave, right? What am I missing?
Yes, you do. But wait a second. But why am I here? Why do people come here? Right? What are...
There it is, like I told you. But why am I here? Here's the easy answer. We don't care. We don't care. I mean, this is like the kid who got shot breaking into someone's house, and the mom was like, she didn't have to shoot him. He just wanted shoes for school. I don't care. You're breaking into someone's house. And this is where I almost like, I think we are too lenient with our laws, where I think it should just be, this is what you do, here's the punishment. Fuck the 12 people sitting around discussing shit. No, that's it. Came here illegally, gone. But I came here out, there's reason. Get the fuck out. Too bad.
What are the root causes of migration? What does U.S. foreign policy and trade agreements have to do with migration patterns? How did NAFTA impact not only...
And here's where Tucker's like, oh, I know where this is going.
But Mexico, right? These are the harder questions,
I get your argument. Oh, this is the new argument on the left, which is America has no moral standing to say people can't come here because we've done so many bad things that we deserve the illegal immigration we get.
I'm not going to fall into this whole. I'm not going to fall into this bad thing. I am just trying to make sure that we are fully. We must be fully aware of our own history. I thought that statement from the African Union.
That's, see, immediately, history, Africa. And watch this crazy place it's about to go.
Was really interesting, right? Like, wait a second, so slaves had to build America, but we can't accept refugees? Right?
What, I mean, you claim to be a journalist. Maybe you could explain, since you're in the explaining business,
well,
what does that mean?
Pulitzer. Because, hold on, I actually won a part of a Pulitzer, so I am actually a journalist.
Well, then I'm highly impressed. But because you were a journalist, you're in the business of explaining things. Tell me why, because the United States, like many countries around the world, once had slavery, a grave sin. It doesn't have a right to control who comes across its borders, or it has no right to tell people you can't be here?
I already agreed with you.
Unpack it for me.
Wait a second. Tucker, thank you. I absolutely agree with you that a country has a right to define and defend its borders. At the same time...
What does slavery have to do with this? What are you saying?
Well, why are people here? That was forced migration of people who built
But nobody
this
is contesting the right of African Americans to be. I don't know. What is your point? I don't understand. You're throwing... Well, America's bad. We had slavery. I agree. That's bad. But what does that have to do with illegal immigration?
Okay. Tucker, you're confused.
Tucker, you're confused because you're looking for a reason, and it doesn't. It has to do with feelings. See, you have to just be like, oh, well, people want to be here, and they feel bad that they're not here, and slavery happened, so feel bad for slavery. Now, see, those people, they're feeling bad. You know what would make them feel better? If you let them do what they want. they'll feel better, so maybe you'll feel better about slavery. That's how this works. It's retarded on numerous levels, but that's in the essence of white guilt. Look, these people are suffering, they feel bad. Look, someone who has the same skin pigment as you did something bad. You feel bad about that? You feel sorry about that? You should, because it's like you did it, basically. So if you feel bad about it, when we make them feel better, then maybe you'll feel better. So just do whatever. Do whatever the brown person tell you. Or this little Filipino man.
You don't deal with context. You're confused because I don't think you even really realize the full history and trust of the history.
You don't realize the history, Tucker. If you knew the history and if you had the conversation, you would know. I mean, this is so cult-like that I have a hard time processing it. I have a hard time processing the condescension too, where I just think to myself, like, how do people get like this? Where they're so comfortable just talking down to people and asserting, well, you don't know, you must not know, you'll never know, like...
of this country. We are here because you were there.
But tell me why it's...
We are here because you are there. That's, like, quotes, whatever this guy's name, we are here because you are there. Like, there's something, you could say it to someone and they'll be like, oh man, that's so deep, that's so profound, and it means nothing. That's leftist thought right there. We are here because you are there. Nothing to lose but our chains.
Significant. Tell me what it means. What are you saying, I guess is the point. You're throwing some stuff out. This is not a class. People expect a rational argument from you, and what is it?
What I'm saying is there are reasons why people are coming here. Yes, the country has a right to define and defend its borders, but we need to ask the harder questions of why are they even coming here, Tucker? Like, look,
okay, so I'm asking the question, why are they coming here? But what does that mean? Does that mean that if we answer the question, the answer is we don't have a right to tell them not to come? What? No, we're almost out of time. Just tell me what you're saying. Do we have a right or not?
Tucker, here's one answer. You put a sign out to the U.S.-Mexico border that says keep out, then 10 yards in, what do you say? Job wanted. This is a country addicted to cheap labor, always has been. By the way, that's the connection between slavery and what we have now. So while you're trying to criminalize these people, what do you do to all these American employers?
And this is, and I've been saying this forever, isn't it interesting how the left's rationales for illegal immigration are the same rationales for slavery? You know, oh, well, we're just giving them opportunity in the new world. They're such hard workers, you know, so on and so forth. Same exact rationales as slavery. And this guy just proved it and said that's the correlation between the two. Here's the crazy part. Slavery, in the modern day, we all think is bad, right? Illegal immigration, for some reason, even though you can point and say, well, it's a lot like slavery, it's very similar to how that happened and the reasons why and everything, but that's good. And I don't know how that is. Liberals, if you're watching, please explain to me. Explain to me why. Why are they so similar? Why can you use one to defend the other? But why are you defending one and not the other? Why? I mean, shouldn't you just be defending both? Like, how about? I mean, with so many white people here, you know, and we gotta lower their numbers and bring up the other ones so it's more equal. Why don't we just throw some Africans on a boat and bring them over, and we'll get them doing jobs and stuff. Yeah.
Well, because we're addicted to cheap labor.
The really simple answer is the employers want low-wage immigration. They do. You're absolutely right about that.
Absolutely,
and a lot of other American citizens who aren't benefiting from that are seeing their wages.
And here's the other thing about it. The left, that's always, oh, the corporations, the 1%, this, and that. We should be giving them what they want. They want cheap labor, so we should give it to them. Like, that's all. This is why I can't be a liberal ever again, because it's like, okay, so we hate the 1%, okay, alright, so we're for immigration, we like everyone that's brown, they can do whatever. Okay, but the 1% really likes the illegal immigration, and it's helping them suppress American workers, and they're being... Wait. Like, it just doesn't add up, where you can't be against something, but then helping them on the other end, because all you're doing is thinking with your feelings, and at no point do you put your foot down and be like, listen, there's got to be a right, and there's got to be a wrong, and we got to stop saying, oh, well, everything's in a shade of gray based on how I feel today.
Leaders undercut by it aren't in favor of it. So,
Well,
but why do I have to?
like,
I
you're
mean, I
talking-
don't get your
you're
point.
talking to
Because
somebody-
employers are
wait,
for it,
Tucker,
we have
Tucker.
to have it. Like, listen to yourself.
You're talking to somebody, by the way, who's an undocumented entrepreneur who employs people. I employ 14 U.S. citizens in this country.
I want to go to the
So
Philippines
we're
and
not
brag
just-
about being illegal and see how long I stay out of jail. Maybe you can come with me. We'll try it.
Wait,
Jose, we're out of
am I
time.
bragging? Am I bragging?
Yes.
I'm just
You're
stating
definitely
facts, man.
bragging.
No, I am stating
Thanks for
facts.
No, he brags about, I mean, if you ever saw his MTV show, White People, brags about being illegal all the time. This is just the same nonsense. You guys can check this clip out for your own. I just wanted to point that out and just show how nonsensical it is. Plus, I just really don't like that guy after that whole MTV show. So, enjoy, everyone.